Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this video where we are getting packed up and loaded to go to the Thoroughbred Makeover at Kentucky Horse Park to compete. This is my husband that is deflating the beach ball for my freestyle. It's a very small hole and it took a very long time to do that. We got settled into our hotel. That's little Evelyn there, and she was pretty excited to get into a hotel room. We had to do this travel in a bit of a weird way because of COVID. So anybody can fly across the border, but not anybody can drive across the border. Only essentials can. And my children are not considered essential. So we had to fly. So we stayed in this hotel room before our flight so that way we could get everything organized, and then I had staff members drive the horses and truck and trailer across the border. So little Evelyn and Melina and my parents, we all boarded our flight, and all we did was fly across the border to Detroit, which would only be a couple-hour drive. But because of COVID, here we are in the plane, gonna fly across the border and have the truck and trailer meet us on the other side. That's my mom there, little baby Melina, and then on the other side of the aisle is my dad sitting with Evelyn. She was pretty excited to go on a plane. She's been on one before, but not for a pretty long time. And of course, all that travel completely zonked her out, and she's just sleeping there. So after our drive the rest of the way to the horse park, we tucked in for the night, and then this is the Tuesday at the makeover. So Tuesday is just a schooling day. Here we are just doing some lead changes in the practice ring. There are a bunch of different warm-up rings that you can use, and we wanted to just kind of ride around the park. So we rode in the morning and we rode later in the day towards the evening just to practice schooling on a bunch of different things. And at this point, we did not know what the trail pattern would be. So I went out to one of the driving obstacles and practiced some lead changes going through the driving obstacles because we weren't sure what we would be asked to do. So I just thought, let's try riding around in unfamiliar areas and try to have a little bit of speed, so doing our canter work. And for those of you guys that have been following us along, you know that Elysia having some speed as we go through things has been a really hard challenge for her in new environments. So here I was pretty happy that she rode around pretty much like a normal horse. We went around the Rolex, we went around for a little trail. That's Allie there riding her horse Indy. She is a 16-year-old student of mine who's also a junior Harmony Horsemanship instructor. So she brought her horse Indy to compete in the 2021 classes. And here's a little look. They had a few poles and things set up in one of the warm-up rings. So we just practiced doing a few little things. And there was a course walk for our trail pattern. So in the afternoon when we rode, we had a better idea of what we needed to practice, including this side pass to a backup. And the way the makeover was structured this year for the mega makeover, because COVID canceled the 2020 makeover, is they offered two classes, a 2020 or a 2021. So all of the same disciplines, there's 10 different disciplines, and still with a finale, but separated for the horses. So that way the 2020 horses competing only against 2020 horses, and 2021 only competing against 2021. So for those of you guys that don't understand how it works, basically you get a thoroughbred, you buy your own thoroughbred off the track, and you have from December 1st to the following October to then compete at the makeover in one of 10 disciplines. So there's trail, freestyle, show jumping, show hunters, eventing, dressage, polo, ranch, barrel racing, polo. I don't know if I already said that already. And all of these different disciplines, you compete in your preliminary rounds, and then only the top 5 from each discipline go on to the finale to determine the top 5 placings, but also who is going to be America's Most Wanted Thoroughbred. Here's my parents hanging out with the girls at the stalls, getting ready to practice and do a few different things. And then here is Evelyn playing with the pool noodles before we were going to head in to do our freestyle practice. So you only get one freestyle practice, and then after that you have to just hope for the best. So we did a little schooling in the covered arena, which is where the freestyle will be held. That's little Evelyn checking out Miss Elysia, and we decided to go out for dinner. We went out to dinner pretty much every single night. This is little Evelyn learning how to butter her own biscuits at the restaurant. And we had pretty late nights most of the nights, and especially on Tuesday night, because this is our freestyle practice here. You can see it's all dark outside, and you only get to do this once. So you get 10 minutes in the ring to set everything up, do your freestyle routine once, and then that's it. So originally my routine was me driving into the arena, and I was going to maybe do some trot. I don't really know. I was going to do something. And then I was going to go off and do some ground work, do some liberty obstacles or tricks or things like that. But what we discovered during practice is that Elysia is just so slow that it was taking too long for me to get to my compulsory moves. So for freestyle, you have compulsory moves where you have to canter a circle, you in both directions, you have to do a trot figure eight, you have to stop and back up. And Elysia was just taking a really long time. So I'm just speeding up this video footage here. You can see here too, when I asked her to lay down, she took a little longer to lay down. And then here's where I start my compulsory moves with my figure eights. That's my trot figure eight that I do with the tarp. I jump my noodles. I do my canter circles. And this leaves my final canter circle to the left at the very end of my routine, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. So I had to come up with a few new things of how to rearrange that, because if you don't do your compulsories, you're definitely going to miss out on marks, whereas anything extra you do is just showcasing how amazing your horse is. So this is the next morning now. This is as we get ready for our trail competition. So I'm just practicing, trying to keep things nice and slow and calm and relaxed with Lissy. She's been feeling absolutely fantastic, which has been a huge work in progress. You guys know from following, she can be quite the dragon when she goes off-site, and it's really only been in the last week that she's started to feel as comfortable off-site as she has at home. And I really think that week, or it wasn't a whole week, the weekend we spent at Aquitana in Kentucky Horse Park was so good for her. And these are new areas that we're riding in that we didn't when we were at the horse park before, but she's feeling like she does at home, which is so amazing to have that feeling, to have my horse as calm as she is at home off-site, because that's something we were really working towards. So I'm going to speed up this footage for you guys. We did a rope gate, a teeter-totter. I posted this video separately so you can take a look at it in slower motion and see the real thing, but I just figured I'd toss it in here. So this was our trail pattern. We did a mount, a dismount, that was a backup and a side pass that we did earlier, a canter up the hill, a trot weave down the hill. We come around and we do a drag, which we tow the log around and put it back. We do a flag obstacle. And then we're going to finish up with going through the Rolex water, which is a super cool feature of doing the competitive trail course. So she ended up finishing with a 108-point score. This is my dad just chilling with her eating. She's eating some grass. That's my dad holding the horse there. And that meant that we finished in first place and would be heading into the finale for that. Because we competed in the morning, it was so nice. We were able to chillax and relax and watch some of the horse show afterwards. That's baby Melina hanging out with me for the hunters, and we got to go inside and watch some of the horse show on the inside. We watched barrels and ranch and a whole bunch of stuff going on. We really just enjoyed our time there, and there's so much to do at the horse park. Here's a little clip of Evelyn playing at the massive playground they have. They have a huge kids playground there. They also had a kids horse museum that we took her to as well, and I just had a lot of fun going around the horse park and enjoying those moments. It worked out really well that I competed each day in the morning, and then we had the afternoon to just play and do some fun things with her as well. Here's a little look at our freestyle. So here's a little clip of it doing the trot figure eight, and it wasn't a perfect pattern. It was near perfect. We had a really good run, but here when we did what we called the burrito, and then when I come around, the tarp caught too much air. So you can see the tarp is still kind of floating. So as I go to step on it, it really pushes the air and kind of pops up and stops Elysia a little bit. And that's one of our compulsory moves. So when we do our finale, we have to kind of change things a little bit as well. Our timing at the end, the announcer made a mistake and announced our time wrong. So it meant that we didn't really have the bridleless driving, didn't quite do the ending the way we had planned. It was a little bit messy and sloppy, but I still got to show my bridleless driving as we go out of the arena. But we managed to finish in first place for that. with a 13-point lead, which was pretty exciting. Here's Evelyn doing one of the picture booths, pretending to lead a horse inside one of the vendor booths. And then on Friday was a off day. Here's us just watching some of the polo going on out at the horse park. So on Friday, we just went for a trail ride around the beautiful grounds. It's probably the best part about competing at the horse park is you get to just trail ride around and enjoy yourself. And gave Elysia a bath to help get her ready for the finale day, which was Saturday. And I really enjoyed that downtime day. She's getting a good scrub there. We're using our Espana Silk natural grooming products, which are the same shampoo and conditioner that I use on myself and my family. Getting her all ready, and of course taking little Miss Evelyn to the swimming pool to go for a swim. That's my parents there, which I was really fortunate for her to come and be able to do that. It's really important to try to make it fun for her, try to show her that this is a holiday and a fun time. So that's Evelyn and my dad swimming in the pool, having a really good time there. I did not bring my swimsuit, so I didn't join them in the pool, but she had a really good time with her Grandy. And I just got to stress myself out and get really nervous, but I'm really glad that I only had one horse heading into the finale day because it's so busy when you have two horses. So this is my first time only having one horse, and new this year they had a jog that you had to do, so we haven't had to do this in past years. Little Miss Melina getting a chance to stretch out as we get ready for the field to do our jog. And it was actually starting to rain during our jog, which made it a little bit more challenging. And Elysia was a good sport though. Jen was actually walking around with Elysia and the umbrella, showing just what a nice little chill girl she can be. And then we did our jog inspection, which was a little bit intimidating. You line your horse up and the vets walk around your horse, and then you have to trot your horse down and back. And there was actually a large number of horses that failed the jog, and not necessarily they were lame, at least they didn't look lame to me. Of course, I'm not a vet, but they were really, really fresh and spooky because it was really cold and rainy and windy, and they were kind of, you know, startling or spooking or popping up as they were going around like, the jog turnaround up here. And so a bunch of them were actually failing, and I think it's great that the vets were there and making sure the horses were sound, but really, really unfortunate that the weather wasn't cooperating, and I'm not sure if that played a factor into a whole bunch of some of the horses that were failing. But little Missy all tucked in for the night, getting her hay before the finale day, going to be competing in both trail and freestyle. And this is Elysia in the morning of finale day. So in the morning of finale day, I took her out for a morning hack, and she saw another horse that started to get excited, and she reared up. I jumped off, kind of fell, and she went for a good gallop around the cross country field. But of course, when I go to lunge her, she's like, no, I'm not full of beans. I don't need to go for a run. And then our beach ball popped on the way to the arena, so we had to duct tape it. So we were dealing with a whole bunch of fun stuff as we were going into finale day. We were already having a bit of a rough start to the morning. Here is Elysia. I'm just playing it in fast time, our freestyle. I'll post it as a separate video for you guys so you can take a look at our freestyle run. But we go in, we do everything that we were supposed to do. You can see the ball, even though it's taped, is a little bit on the floppy side. And when we did our swirl, we kind of rearranged things so our burrito was the last move, so I didn't trip on the tarp. So that all went really, really nicely. We did our canter circles and got through everything. Elysia was feeling pretty tired with her having done her morning run. And this time I did her little rear and a little buck cue just to show some of her tricks, and got to do our bridleless driving on the way out without any issues from the music, which was pretty cool. I'll post that video for you guys separately. So we ended up finishing first place in our freestyle. So this is Elysia going for a little bridleless canter around with her winning cooler from her freestyle and her little blue ribbon. I was over the moon excited. The other winners going around the ring there. And so this finale is on Saturday, so it's just the 2020 horses. And when I say 2020 horses, That means that they intended to compete in 2020, which means that we got our horses, they were being trained in the year of 2020, whereas the 2021 horses were training throughout 2021. Technically, the 2020 horses competed for both, or trained for both years. So we all had an extra year with our horse, which was kind of exciting. Although you guys know, for me, I just had my baby in July, so we didn't really have that extra 2021 year. This here is just a sped up version of our trail class. So first off, we competed in our freestyle. We got a short break because the barrel racers went between us, and then it was time to compete in trail, and I'll post this separately for you guys so you can see it. And we go through our trail pattern, and we only had a 4-point lead heading into our finale. And the way it works is your preliminary score and your finale score get added together to get your final score. And we ended up winning our trail class. So Elysia actually won both of her disciplines. We won both freestyle and trail. So this is us coming in. She was pretty lazy because she had gone for that morning run, that unauthorized run that she went around the cross-country park. So we go for a nice little canter here for our victory gallop, getting our first place, our second first place. So I am over the moon, thrilled, excited for Lissy, and the biggest part of this is just that she's acting like she does at home. And you guys know how much I have worked to build Lissy's confidence and build her relaxation to get to this place where she can ride away from home like she does at home. And look at her just going around super relaxed, super nice. So we end up winning both that trail and that freestyle. And the way the overall winner is chosen for America's Most Wanted Thoroughbred is they take the winner from each discipline, and then the judges rank you in order of how deserving they think you are. And the top 10 riders all go back into the ring. So this is the first place horse from each division. So that's the polo horse that's just walking by there with the guy in the red shirt. There's me with Lissy, who was the first place horse of both trail and freestyle. And then the other horses that you're going to see coming in are from all of the other disciplines. So you're going to see some Western horses because of barrel racing and ranch. And you'll see English horses because of dressage and eventing and show jumping and show hunters, all of those other disciplines in there as well. So we all kind of walk around and got to tell a little bit about our horses while the judges were making their decision of who they thought should be America's Most Wanted Thoroughbred. And when I won the competition in 2015, it was also decided by a judges panel. But then 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, it was all different forms of people's choice. So it might have been a text vote or an applause cheer meter, different things. And then this year they went back to making it a judge's decision. And so here's little Miss Evelyn applauding for Mummy because the judges chose Thunderous Affaire, Miss Lissy, as I call her, as the America's Most Wanted Thoroughbred, which was super excited. So we're just in the center there getting our trophy and our big check, which was pretty exciting, and having a little mini interview. So here's a little look at us going into the winner's circle now with our 2 first place ribbons, our overall America's Most Wanted Thoroughbred ribbon, little Miss Evelyn hanging out with me. You can see one of the other winners in the back there. She was also the top Thoroughbred Aftercare Award winner and top Kentucky Bred Award winner. So she got to chill out the next day in the round pen while I helped Allie with her horse Indy in the 2021 makeover because she finished 2nd place in freestyle. I'll post that video for you guys separately. This is just a little look at the round pens there that the horses got to hang out in that were available to rent. And little Miss Evelyn just walking around with Mummy's ribbons. So it was a super full week, and we had so much fun. I want to thank you guys for following Lissy on her journey